Good morning, guys, and welcome to day 2 of the reading rush. So, good morning. I am back at my desk again. I did not get up at 4:30 in the morning like I did yesterday, so that's great. I figured I would give you guys an update on my reading and kind of tell you what the plan is for today. So right now I'm sitting down at my desk to finish up the vlog for yesterday. It went up, I don't know when, because I started uploading it before I fell, and then I just fell asleep last night. So I really don't know what time the video actually went live. So I need to finish and put like the cards and the end screen and all that stuff in it. So I'm gonna do that right now. But I wanted to tell you what my plan was for reading today. Obviously today I'm going to attempt to finish reading the Indigo Spell because I am a little over halfway done with that, so I'm gonna want to knock that out and finish that. The other thing that I've decided that I'm going to start trying to do, it dawned on me last night as I was editing that I have 3 giant books that I want to read for this readathon. I have these 3 books that are pretty hefty and or very dense novels. And so what I did was I went through and I divided them up into the remaining 6 days of this readathon. And I am going to, first thing in the morning, read the first chunk of each one of these. And then I'll spend all afternoon reading another book. That makes sense? Basically, I'm gonna read 4 books at one time. So yeah, that is my plan for today, is to read the first little tab in all of these, and then once I'm done with that, finish reading the Indigo Spell. So that's the plan. We'll see how this goes. It's my hope that I can get this done. I'm thinking when we start getting to the end of some of these books, I'm not going to want to stop reading them. I'm just going to want to like fly through them. So I'll have to see how that actually goes and what I actually want. So yeah, that is my plan. I am eating some breakfast, and by breakfast I mean I have these like bento boxes that I made, and they're supposed to be for lunches, but I actually usually eat them for breakfast, just because they're a really good quick thing, and I get really sick in the mornings if I don't eat right away. It's been that way for years, don't know why, just the way it is. So these are actually great for me in the mornings because then I don't have to sit and make something, and they're full of protein, which is awesome. So yeah, that's what I've got going on. I'm going to go ahead and finish this video. And then also, I have a playlist that I made of everybody's daily vlogs. Everybody that I follow, their daily vlogs. And there are 30 videos in that right now. So while I eat breakfast, I just spend some quiet time. I'm going to watch some of those. And then I'm going to start reading. So I'll check back in with you when I have a reading update. Hi guys. So I am still sitting at my desk. I have gotten up from this spot, I promise. But I'm back at my desk at the moment to film this clip because it's the most convenient place to film a clip. Actually, both kids are napping. Ryan has not felt good today. He has said he just hasn't been a little sick, and he said he had a headache. So he fell asleep on the couch and was taking a nap. And Lauren's down for a nap as well. And so I've been taking this opportunity to just do some reading. I have read all of my first day pages for Children of Blood and Bone. So I am on page 98 of this. And then I have read all of my day 1 pages for Tower of Dawn. I'm 110 pages into this. And that's it. I have not read City of Bones yet, and I have not read the Indigo Spell yet. But now that everybody's kind of situated and settled in, I'm going to go sit on the couch next to Ryan so I can keep an eye on him. And I am going to start reading City of Bones. I have my annotation tools with me because I'm going to annotate this as I read it. And yeah, that's the plan. I need to get to page 82 in this. And then I can switch off and do the Indigo Spell. So that's my plan, is to get my pages of this red and then just switch over to the indigo spell. And if I finish this well and the kids are still sleeping, I may take a nap because I'm kind of tired and everybody else is napping, so it seems only fair, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the plan. Oh, today we are also going to my parents' house after everybody gets off work. And we're just going to spend the evening there. We might go swimming. We'll have to see if the weather holds up. We might go swimming, but we will see. But I'm really excited because we're bringing home, my parents have a Switch that they bought for, a Nintendo Switch that they bought for Ryan, and we are bringing it home with us tonight because my parents are going out of town for the next couple of days. They're heading out of state for some business stuff, and so we're taking home the Switch so that we can play with it while they're gone and gives us something else to do. So we're doing that, and I'm excited about it because it means that I can play with the Switch. Because when we're at mom and dad's house, the kids are playing with it, obviously, and so when it comes home with us after they go to bed, I can play with it while I listen to some audiobooks. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So that'll be fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go and get to reading City of Bones, and I will check back in with you guys. Hey guys, so it is now Wednesday, so just the third day of the readathon, and I'm gonna wrap up this vlog so I can get it edited and uploaded. But I figured I should kind of talk to you guys about, well, one, my reading, because, you know, it's a reading vlog. That's what we're supposed to do. But also tell you guys, kind of explain to you what that last clip was. So, first of all, let's go with that last clip because I bet that's the one that you guys are concerned about since it was my 4-year-old in a hospital bed. Basically, what happened, he never takes naps, first of all. He just doesn't, and you saw he fell asleep on the couch. He had told me that he hit his head. I didn't think anything of it because he told me he hit his head with his iPad, so I just assumed he did like a phone face and was holding it above him and dropped it on his head. So I didn't think anything of it. He told me literally like 20-30 minutes later he had a headache, but he has a runny nose, so I thought maybe he just had a cold and a headache, and he ended up falling asleep on the couch. So about 20-30 minutes into his nap, he started screaming. He wasn't awake. I thought he maybe just was having a bad dream. So I went over to try and like calm him down, wake him up, you know, get him out of the dream, and he couldn't wake up. He got to a point, he was acknowledging me, he was answering my questions, he was opening his eyes for a minute, and then he'd close them again and be asleep again. He could not wake up, and I tried to get him awake for about 10-15 minutes, and I started, you know, having some genuine concern and some panic, and so I just had to we just kind of decided that just to make ourselves feel better, because it wasn't normal. This is not normal behavior for him, even when he has a cold. Just to not be able to keep himself awake. And he was crying and screaming the whole time. He would acknowledge me, he would open his eyes, he'd talk to me, but he would be crying and screaming the entire time. So obviously that was concerning. And so we kind of made the decision just to take him to the ER. We took him to the ER, took him in. They took his temperature. He had a 99.5 fever, so a fever, but not too terrible. He he would answer questions, but he'd cry and scream and throw a fit the whole time. Did all his vitals. The rest of his vitals were fine. They checked his lungs and his chest because he was telling me his chest hurt. But his lungs were clear. He has asthma. In case you didn't know that, he does have asthma, so that was a concern that he was having an asthma attack. But his lungs were clear. He didn't seem to be having any trouble breathing, just the chest pain. And so they took him into a room, told him about the hitting the head thing, and they said, you know, we're going to try a couple other tests just because he calmed down and went back to sleep. He calmed down, so they're like, he doesn't seem like he's in any immediate danger. He said he just hit his head on an iPad. It shouldn't cause any like severe trauma to his head that we feel like we need to do a scan right away. So we're going to do some other tests to check and make sure that it's not some sort of virus or something serious like that, or some sort of serious virus. And we'll put a rush on those so that they happen quick. Those tests happen quickly, and then if those come back clear, we'll do a scan. And so because he was complaining he was in so much pain, they gave him a high dose ibuprofen because he's a kid. They can't really give him anything else. But they gave him a really high dose ibuprofen, and he settled, he was still asleep. We stayed in the hospital. Probably the video you saw is after they had given him the ibuprofen. The nurse brought him a stuffed animal to help calm him down. He was asleep still. He probably slept for 2 hours total before he finally was able to wake up. And he ended up, about an hour after they gave him the ibuprofen, he woke up and he was feeling okay. He said his head didn't hurt really anymore. He said it was sore, like a bruise, but it wasn't, it didn't hurt anymore. And that he felt fine. They came back all the tests. They did a strep test, they did a urine test, all that, which was a trip. But all that came back clean. He wasn't sick from it. They didn't show any signs of anything there. He just had a fever and the pain. And because the ibuprofen helped, they opted not to do a scan because, he's 4. They really didn't want any added radiation to him at that size, which I appreciate. So they ended up saying that because he was doing better and the rest of the tests came back clear, we could go home. So we came home. They discharged us, telling us he probably just had a cold that caused a headache. But today he's doing fine. My family suspects that he may have actually had a migraine because migraines run heavily in our family. Myself, my sister, my brother, and my father and my grandmother all suffer from severe migraines. So we all kind of suspect it may have been a migraine. We did mention that to the ER doctor, and they told us he is too young to suffer from migraines. All of us in our family called bull on that because we all got them very young. So we're pretty sure that he may have had a migraine but he also had an aversion to light. He didn't want the lights on. What? Hi. Yeah, he didn't want the lights on at all. He said they were hurting his head, so we left the lights off. But yeah, we're all kind of suspecting he may have had his first ever migraine, which sucks. Because again, if migraines for our family, if you take a high dose pain reliever, whether that be a actual migraine medication, a super high dose of ibuprofen, or Aleve, or an actual narcotic, because we have had them, all of us have had migraines severe enough that we've ended up in the ER and had to be given Benadryl and morphine to get them to go away. So they can be pretty bad. I've only had that once in my life. When you take a high dose of a painkiller like that, when you have a migraine, the pain of the migraine goes away, but you still feel the pressure and so the throbbing of it, and it does feel very sore, which is what he described. So we all do kind of suspect that it was a migraine, and so now we're just going to supervise him. If it ever happens again, we kind of know what to suspect, and we're just going to put him in a dark room with some ibuprofen and water and let him try and sleep it off. But yeah, so we suspect that he may have had a migraine. That was our day yesterday. For my reading, I don't think I told you anything about my reading. Actually, maybe I did. I think I told you, now that I'm thinking about it, that I read my pages for Children of Blood and Bone, and I read my pages for Tower of Dawn. And I was getting ready to start reading my pages for City of Bones. I did not read any of my pages for City of Bones because we ended up in the ER. So I have not started City of Bones just yet. I'm going to try and start it at some point today. So I'm going to try and get through 2 sections of this. But I did end up listening to my audiobook for The Indigo Spell, which I didn't finish, but I'm almost done with it. I think I have about 2 or 3 chapters left. I didn't look for the big... Alright, anyway, so I didn't get any of City of Bones read. I did read some of the Indigo Spell. I'm in like the most dramatic part of the story, so I feel like I probably got like a couple chapters left. And then I'm done with this book, and I can move on to something different. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go so I can get this edited and uploaded, and I will see you guys tomorrow.